It was the breaking point. That being for VShojo's Michi Mochievee, taking to stream to talk about her experiences with a previous company that she was employed with and what eventually made her leave.
I saw someone said, like, what was your breaking point? Ooh, I've never told this to anyone before. So, I had 2 breaking points, to be honest. So, my first breaking point, not like breaking point, but this was like, what kind of like shook my, like it made me like, what? Like, is this worth? You know what I mean? Like, it kind of made me doubt my belief system. However, there are 2 instances that really got me like a bit shaken up. The second one, the thing that broke the camel's back was definitely the money thing. Yes. I'm a very big, like, business is business, no matter what. I won't fuck with your cash. Don't fuck with mine. Once upon a time, I dreamt that I was traveling, right? I was traveling, and I decided to visit the place that I worked for. Yes, in my dream. Let's not say I. Let's just say Bethany, okay? Once upon a time, a girl named Bethany was traveling, and Bethany decided to visit a build-in office in which Bethany was working for. And during that visit, Bethany was very excited, you know, because this is where Bethany is working. So Bethany was very excited. And then as they were giving like the tour and etc., Bethany saw that on the walls, there were a bunch of cool achievements. One of them had Bethany's name on it. And Bethany wanted to take a picture. But no can do. That's okay. That's okay. You know, Bethany understood. Sometimes privacy is a very big thing. And Bethany is a very private person. So Bethany did not take mind into that. But then during this time, Bethany made a joke about jokingly being like, you know, the hand gesture where you like, oh, shh, yoink. You know what I mean? So Bethany made a joke being like, ooh, shh, yoink. Like that. And like laughing about it. And then Bethany got scolded for making a distasteful joke. Now, was Bethany right? No. Perhaps that is a bad joke. But considering Bethany was working in the entertainment industry, Bethany thought people would take jokes easily. And not have people think that Bethany was actually a thief. And a little bit, that made Bethany feel pretty bad. Because it made Bethany feel like, wait a minute, did they really think that Bethany would steal? What kind of person do you think Bethany is? And you know what? Bethany had an ego. 100%. So Bethany's not completely in the right, but it did kind of hurt Bethany's ego just a little bit. Where Bethany realized, what kind of person do you think I am? Like, why are you for real scolding Bethany? Right? For making what is clearly a joke. Did you take it seriously? Did you really think Bethany would do that? And the scolded was, we will kick you out of the building, scold. And Bethany, that hurt Bethany's feelings. That sucked. That sucked. And I was like, interesting. Bethany said. And Bethany was like, that's a joke. And then they're like, I get it. But, you know, you gotta understand, I can't have that happen here. And Bethany said, okay, I'm sorry, I understand. I went too far. But deep down Bethany's heart, they're like, what the what the is that? Am I not allowed to just pretend yoink, you know? Bethany's like, am I not... I'm not... Bethany not only is not allowed to just take a picture of Bethany's own stuff, Bethany can't even joke about it. And that made Bethany feel very, very weird. Because Bethany was like, damn, that's weird. And then the straw that broke the camel's back was the money thing. So all of that altogether kind of was Bethany's tipping point. So Bethany kept it to herself. Bethany did end up confronting them, and they did end up apologizing. And you know what? Bethany forgave them. Bethany forgave them because Bethany told them, they were like, hey man, listen, I was joking, right? And you took it so f***ing seriously. And that hurt my ego. I'll be 100% with you. and they apologized. And Bethany forgave them. But Bethany never forgets. Bethany will never ever forget that.
Michi then speaking firsthand about how Asian companies view replacing people.
The people that don't do well don't get much. And I did pretty well, and I don't get much. VShojo is way too supportive. Like, VShojo is so supportive. I realize this when people hear, like, you're not replaceable. Hooray! That's sad to say, chat. A lot of Asian companies kind of do that. You know, like, they don't tell you that, but they make it clear that they can do things without, like, with or without you. And if you leave or if you don't take up the opportunity, someone else will.
Michi going on further to talk about Asian contracts and their demands from her experience.
This is Asian company contract experience, okay? You get 15 pages. 13 pages are talking about all the things you cannot do. The next page is talking about what they are going to do if you accidentally break any of their 3 gajillion bajillion clauses. And the last page is just a recap. In VShojo, when I got my contract, they forced me to get my own lawyer to read through my contracts. They were like, Michi, we're not gonna accept you, like, signing to our contract without, like, if you have not seek advice from your own lawyer, we're not gonna accept it. And I was sitting there and I was like, bro, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I don't want my position to go to someone else. Because in Asia, chat, if you're in a job interview and then they give you a contract, you sign it. If you don't sign it on the dot, you don't get it.
Michi describing her working at the previous company as working out of fear.
Like, I didn't hate working, don't get me wrong. But most of the time, I worked because I was really scared. Like, no, I worked out of fear. You know what I mean? Like, you know when you're like working because you're passionate or working because of money. I worked because I was so scared that I was scared of the things that may happen, I guess.
Michi speaking of a time with her previous company when she was told that without her, things could have been worse.
I had like a conversation with some people in my dream, and they said, like, you know, some stuff might have been worse, right? Like, things might have been worse, but like, okay, here's the context. The full context was I let out all my feelings. I was like, hey man, it feels like I'm working this hard for nothing. You know, like, I worked so hard and I'm at the position where I am. Why does it feel like nothing's changed? And they're like, no, Michi, you don't get it. Like, I don't think anything can change, but you are the reason things are afloat. Like, things could have been worse, but because of you, things aren't as bad. In a group of so many people, chat, there's bound to be clashes, right? Like, imagine having a friend group of like 20 people. Someone is not gonna like someone else, and that's fine. And like, imagine if there's like, I don't know, more than 100 people. Someone might not like someone else. That's like very common, you know? And I totally understand where they're coming from, because there was a point where there were some people that didn't quite like me, right? Not because of anything. Like, it's very understandable because I was so like MIA. Like, I was gone. You know, I rarely talk to my friends. I rarely talk to my coworkers. I rarely respond. Like, if let's say someone's like, hey, we have this thing going on, I can't. I'll be like, I can't join this right now because I have another collab, or like, oh, I can't join this right now because I have another event to sort out. There were so many times I couldn't join some stuff. When I can, I always do, but it's so rare. And I will admit it, it's my fault. Like, I did not put in the effort to maintain a relationship, right? And because of that, some people had this assumption that I was very like stuck up my ass. You know what I mean? Like, I was very like, oh, I'm sorry, you are a smaller streamer and I am now a bigger streamer, and because of that we can't interact. And I understand, I completely understand why people have that mentality of me because of what I did. But it's just like, at that point I didn't even have the energy to clear my name. Like, I didn't have the energy to be like, hey man, I'm sorry, I can't. Like, it's not that I hate you, it's not that I look down on you. I have to maintain a certain, like, I have to earn enough and I have to work enough So then people still see us as valuable. Like, I felt really alone for a bit. I can't even show my coworkers proof because I'd be breaking my own contract. So it's like... I remember there was a time I did get confronted by one of my friends. They were like, hey man, I have to be honest, this is how I feel. And I couldn't say anything but sorry. I was like, I'm sorry. And they're like, do you have anything to say? I was like, I can't. Like, you don't get it. I can't say anything. All I can say is sorry. Like, you are so valid. If I were you, I'd feel the same. But I swear to God, like, I care about you. I really do. I care about everyone. I didn't really, like, get much. You know? Like, I get, like, scolded, but I didn't get, like, many opportunities, if that makes sense. Right? And, I was scared that if I didn't do well, then the chances... Like, you know that meme of, like, someone digging and then the person next to them is, like, they stopped and they're so close to getting a diamond? That's how I felt like constantly. Like, every day I'm like, oh, I'm so close. They'll notice me now, surely. Oh, okay, no. Tomorrow, they'll notice me now, surely. Like, that was what I was... My mentality. I've always, like, every time I work, I'm like, I'm so close. They're gonna notice me now. They have to notice me now. Now they notice me. Like, that's what I was doing. So, it did kind of, like, wear me off. Like, I'll be honest with you, I am burnt out, but not from content. I never really had a bad, like, impression about it, but because I was working so much, I didn't really get to spend any time with, like, my coworkers or my friends. I didn't really get to, like, talk with them or chill with them. Because at that time, I feel like maybe it's because I was new or something. I was still, like, deep. I was, like, deep in the, like, I'm so close. Or, like, I'm so close. I'm gonna get noticed now. Oh, like, I remembered. I was like, I did a good thing. But I even told them. Like, I'm not usually the type of person that'd be like, hey, guys, guess what happened? I got 100K today. Huzzah! Like, 100K subscribers. Wow! Like, I'm not that kind of person. But on that day, I remembered I did that. I was like, guys, I got 100K. And in my head, I was like, surely something's gonna happen, right? Surely. And then nothing happened. I was like, oh, maybe if I reach 500K. Maybe if I get 150. And then 150 rolls around, nothing. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe 200. Maybe 500. And then I just gave up. Like, I was working so much.
Michi going on to talk about her managers with the previous company until, quote, the Fire Nation attacked.
If Michi says they're nice, they're nice. Here's the thing. When I say they're nice, I'm talking about, like, in my dream, hypothetically, my managers. Right? I don't want this to get twisted at all. So I'm gonna make this as clear as possible, while also avoiding a potential lawsuit. In my dream, hypothetically, once upon a time, that my fish who had a pet fish, who had a neighbor, who had a cousin, who fell and had a coma, who had a dream. In this hypothetical scenario, their manager are very nice, right? And then the Fire Nation attacked. Once upon a time, the world lived in harmony. The managers were very nice. And then, the Fire Nation attacked. And the Fire Nation managers... Woof. Now that's a different topic for a different day. Okay, in my dream, it's not to my manager, nor is it to my coworkers. In my dream, it's towards the dungeon master. You know what I mean? That's my personal tick. A lot of Bethany, a lot of my dream Bethany story, none of the anger or disappointment is ever because of, like, their managers or their coworkers. It's to the GM. It's to the big guy. All the way up.
Michi going on further to talk about returning hardware to the previous company, as she was led to believe was required of her.
Here's the thing. Bethany may be an asshole, and Bethany may be stupid, but Bethany will never keep something that does not belong to Bethany. So, Bethany contacted them, and Bethany's like, where can I drop them off? And they never said shit. So at that point, Bethany could have stolen it. But no. Because you know what, chat? You know what? Bethany has a very strong honor code. So, Bethany held on to that, flew all the way to where the their job is, which is like an 8-hour flight, and returned it personally. Like, no one was like, okay, Bethany, send it over here. And no, Bethany did that. Even though Bethany could have just stolen that thing, she could have kept it to herself. No, Bethany brought it with her, gave it back personally to the person that deserves to have this item. Because that's the kind of person Bethany is. Very big honor code. So the fact that someone assumed that Bethany would sink so low to steal something really hurt Bethany's ego, okay? If it came from someone that Bethany didn't know, perhaps it just might be a distasteful joke. But this person knew Bethany. Bethany knew this person, and that's what hurt the most. What hurt wasn't the fact that, like, what hurt Bethany wasn't the fact that it's like, oh, they made a, it's their job, you know, they had to do this. No, what hurt was the fact that they assumed it, even though they clearly knew Bethany would never do that. Because if Bethany was the type of person to screw people over, oh, Bethany definitely could have. Bethany definitely could have done something. Bethany definitely could have screwed shit up. Because here's the thing, chat. Right in my hypothetical story for children part, volume 6, page 12, in my children's story. Let me just flip through this. Flip. Bethany remarks, the shit you see online, right? That's just one side of the story. What Bethany experienced was a whole completely different story. A whole DLC, I dare say. And if this DLC ever came to light... yeah. You're lucky Bethany has an honor code. You're lucky!
Michi once again reiterating how VShojo recommended she have her own lawyer look over the VShojo contract and describing just how much VShojo takes.
They read it again. They're like, so this company of yours, yes? How do they make money? And I'm like, oh, it's stated right here. They take a cut from our like this part. Like, they don't even take a I don't know if I can say this, but I'll say this. Like, every money you give me, chat, every money, every sub, it's completely 100% mine. I was so shocked. Like, I get to keep everything. They get to keep, like, in my opinion, VShojo doesn't take enough. Like, they take, yeah, it's just merch and sponsors and only like a small amount. Like, it's not like we're gonna be taking 99% of your sponsors and merch cuts. No, like, they take nothing. And this might sound like I'm exaggerating, but I'm not. This is the first time a company has treated me like I'm a valuable person. Like, I'm a valuable asset. The first time I really felt like, oh, they want me here. Like, they really want me here. My first ever time getting merch was when I debuted in VShojo. My first ever time getting my sponsor was when I work in VShojo. So, is it because I only stream for... oh, but Michi, you've only been streaming for 4 months. Well, in my dream, I was stuck in that dream for like practically almost 3 years.
Many believing those achievements on the walls that Michi was speaking to were actually silver and gold play buttons, awarded from YouTube for 100,000 and 1 million subscribers. Michi, before this, attending the Melody and Harmony charity stream, afterwards remarking, "Thank you so much for coming to the charity stream. Everyone did amazing, and you guys did amazing. This always warms my heart. I love everyone." This very quickly bringing us over to Maeve Kagekiri with VNU. Here now with Look What Came. So surreal after 11 years and a completely fresh restart that we were able to reach such an insane milestone after only 10 months. Huge thank yous to everyone that has supported me, no matter how big or small. Thank you to staff for allowing me to pursue my silly ideas. Thank you to my editing team for scrubbing through hours of subpar attempts at jokes. Thank you to the VNU girls for forever inspiring me, and especially my gen mates for not only being the best gen mates I could have ever have asked for, but also incredible friends. And finally, thank you, maidens. This award is less of mine and more a culmination of a whole lot of insanely talented and supportive people. I hope that no matter what happens, that we'll continue to laugh together forever after 11 years. You're not getting rid of me that easily. And once again, back at it is HoloLive English's Amelia Watson, surprising many with her AmeSame spelling bee stream this past weekend, being joined not only just by Galgura, but numerous other members of HoloLive English. Their designs for this stream being inspired by both the Muppet puppets and smiling friends. No Nimble saying big thanks to Oumiya for giving me the amazing opportunity. And smiling friends superfan Nanashi Mume saying, aha! I had a hunch I was based on the little guy peeking out from the rack of blazers shortly before running away. Kenny Izzy also here with sets and props for that stream. Amelia after saying, thank you for watching the Spelling Bee. We really thought more players would drop like flies with some of the harder words. Ian Girls, too big brain.
Codependency. What? I can spell, okay? C. O. Let me think. D. E. Let me think, okay? If you're laughing, I can't think, okay? P. E. I'm spelling it in my brain, okay? Huh?
Giving extra thanks to Hask Soft, saying super cute puppet models drawn by No Nimble. Thank you, Hask, for always being so great and speedy. Many noticing one tweet from HoloLive Production English in regards to this stream being posted 25 hours after that stream had kicked off. HoloLive Production English tweeting out, have you seen the AmeSame Spelling Bee yet? This hilarious collab special features a huge cast of hashtag HoloEN members. Give it a watch if you missed it. Some replies deriding HoloLive for how late they were with this alert tweet, compounding on what many had thought were late tweets earlier in the year for very major streams. HoloLive receiving replies like, thanks, on my way to get the time machine now. I'll watch it live in a second, along with thanks for the timely retweet. The winner of that spelling bee being Gigi Murin, after saying to Ame, thank you for organizing and hosting. It was so much fun and amazing to see how much work you put into every part of it. Gigi earlier that day opening up her Gremberships. This as other members of HoloJustice have been opening up their memberships, like Cecilia Emmergreen. Her membership stamps coming by way of Mochi Gomi. As further today with HoloLive English, we have FUWAMOCO. Earlier this morning, hitting over 900,000 YouTube subscribers. The sisters earlier holding a nearly 12-hour Endurance Super Mario World stream, gaining 5,500 subscribers from that stream alone. And while these dog girls may not achieve their initial goal of 1 million YouTube subscribers within 1 year, they have still been finding time to celebrate with their fellow Advent members during off collabs like this Poison Gacha stream. The Advent members going on to kick off their own series of first anniversary merchandise, including a rubber mat, badges, buttons, and keychains. The group then going on to launch their second original song, Sirens. Songwriter and VTuber Money making this announcement of, I composed and wrote the lyrics for Sirens. I had a lot of fun composing the melody for this. It's very bouncy. As next, we'll be bouncing into the 3D debuts for HoloAdvent. Shiori Novella going first this Friday on August 2nd, followed by Koseki Biju on Saturday, August 3rd, followed then by Narissa Ravencroft the next weekend on August 9th, and then finally FUWAMOCO on Saturday, August 10th, followed by a full Advent collab the next week on Saturday, August 17th. These streams all scheduled for 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. HoloLive Production English also making this announcement, saying follow Advent behind the scenes in Japan. For 1 week starting today, HoloAdvent will post behind the scenes pictures of their practices, outings, and other adventures. Day 1 is an airport selfie. It's been a long journey. Stay tuned. This while HoloMyth member Takanashi Kiara would tweet out, Advent, congrats on 1 year. Time passes fast, huh? Thanks for being such hardworking and fun colleagues. I feel like you found your place already. Good job. On to many more years together. This as it's been a few years with the HoloStars English boys. Regis Altair saying, get your cute little Altair plushie today. This being from the Tempest 2nd anniversary celebration merch goods. HoloLive Production offering up 6 different plushies. Regis Altair and Gavis Bettel also joining Kobo Kanaru and Shoto for the upcoming HoloLive Meet at Taipei 2024 event. Kobo and Regis holding their fan meeting on August 11th, followed that same day by Gavis and Shoto holding their fan meeting just 3.5 hours later. Further along today, we have the final final dungeon boss, Oumiya Emma. Seen here with her brand new outfit saying, "Thanks so much for all the wishes. I hope you like my new form. I am your guardian angel." Momohiro Kohi here with had the honor of rigging Oumiya Emma's angelic form. This has been in the works for a very long time. Hope you all show her your support. That initial concept coming by way of Minister Duke. That reveal complete with not only this reference sheet and an animated video, but also along with this animated background by Saru Mars. Oumiya Emma teaming up with Uwu Market for a brand new merch drop, and then after kicking off her birthday donathon, stating, "You guys are insane. We reached all donathon rewards in 2 days. God, I'm really grateful to have a wonderful community. We'll work so hard to complete all of the donathon rewards." Further along, we have V4 Mirai. This past weekend, debuting their talent manager, V-Sensei in 3D, and further announcing 4 more 3D debuts, beginning with Dr. Nova, Rem, and Alias on Saturday, August 3rd, and then finally into the late AM hours with Yumi, running at 1 a.m. Pacific and 4 a.m. Eastern on Sunday, August 4th. We also now have Elias Stellaria with Videre, not only teaming up with Spica for a brand new cover of Q, but along with the other members of Videre, soon attending VEXpo. This being a UK VTuber convention set to be held on the weekend of August 9th through 11th in the wonderful city of Birmingham. And now newly announced attending VEXpo that weekend will be members of FaZe Connect, Idol, VShojo, alongside this announcement of members from Aeon, Idol, Globy, and Algorithm Project. VEXpo tweeting out this concert announcement with them, saying on Saturday, August 10th, we'll have a concert celebrating VTuber agencies from all over the world. This is a free concert, but seating will be first come, first served. As next up, we have Hazumi teaming up with Mugi Mart for a brand new Hazumi collection, and now releasing a brand new cover of Deco Nina's Rabbit Hole. And speaking of Mugis, here we have SEIRA, self-described as a voice actor and singer-songwriter, and formerly the VTuber Nagami Mugi. SEIRA now showing off her brand new design and stating, "I didn't want to make a full-blown announcement on main about the alias change, mainly because I wanted this to be a casual side thing, but it brings me so much joy to see familiar usernames in chat." This all while more and more are becoming familiar with Saiiren, who is now posing this question.
Which voice do you think suits my VTuber more? This one? Or this one? Would you prefer this one? Danny.
Antro here saying, "I had the wonderful opportunity to create the 3D model for Saiiren, collaborating with Rolo Art, who handled most of the texture work. This is the most detailed and time-consuming model I have ever done. It took nearly 8 months to complete." Now also today, turning us over to Totless, a scuffed cat, now featured here by 3D modeler Wen, who had gone on to say, "Thank you so much, Purple Cat." Totless remarking, "Huge thanks to Wen for their amazing work. So happy to have finally revealed it. So much stress leading up to this, but I am so happy how the debut went." As that is all for this episode. As always, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Send in your VTuber news to our Discord, as we'll have more things VTubers say for you soon.